Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the UKEL. We just saw Viperio get their first loss against Absolved, better team on the day. Now, we are going to be going to Champ Select in just a couple of short minutes for Bulldog versus Vector Gaming. Doctor, do we have any expectations going into this game?
Oh, we've got a few. You know, when you look at both the teams, obviously, Bulldog, correct me if I'm wrong, was it Bulldog are now the entire London Belong team? Or yes. There was something with one of the London teams and Bulldogs, and I don't know if it's like London Lionhearts now or like Bulldog's old roster, or if Bulldogs now Stratford Spartans' old roster or something. There's a Twitch chat, help me out. There's a little something going on there with those two teams. So, but we know a lot of the players. Obviously, we've seen, like I said earlier, you know, people like Wins.
Yeah.
We've seen them tearing up Vanule and Splaff and Fuyu having a really good time in the UKPG. So yeah, just want to keep our eyes up on people like Kara, Depra, Extra Cheeky, see what's going on in those lanes, give them a little bit more opportunity to show their stuff.
Do you think it will be a dragon-focused game? We saw in the last game where it was kind of all of the dragons pretty much given over to Absolved throughout the game, so they ended up getting the Ocean Soul and just outscaling from pretty much the 15-minute mark because of team fights that they're able to take. But
yeah, we
do see a lot of professional teams, as I mentioned during the first game, just sacking the first couple Drakes, getting the couple of Rift Heralds, getting tower plates and scaling off of that.
Yes, but I wouldn't call that a dragon-focused game because Viperio were not focused on dragons. And it wasn't like intentionally sacking them off because they then didn't go for the Herald. They actually lost that as well. So
true.
And I feel like right now, again, it's sort of like an ease of execution thing. It's hard to get those rotations right. It's a lot easier to just like, yep, set up for the Drake, do a Drake, get the souls. Soul is win, you know? So I think you're going to have a bit of a better time. You're going to save yourself a lot of hassle if you just go for it that way.
Well, we are getting a Champ Select for our second game, Vector Gaming versus Bulldog. See how they decide to put the priority. See if we can get any Aphelios or Senna. Actually, Aphelios will be banned away immediately from Bulldog. Rumble also taken off the board.
Alright, so we're getting some real bans coming through now. Okay. Yep. These are just 100% pick ban in comp. For the most part. Lucian, not so much. Lucian, again, he's seen as sort of like a second tier as an ADC. And then, obviously, the flex power that you have is pretty useful if you choose to flex him, but still don't know if he's exactly ban worthy, but there you go. Another top tier 100% pick ban in the LPL champion. That's going to be the Senna.
Mordekaiser also taken off the board. Cassiopeia as a response, so that does leave MF up and available if either side wants to go for it.
Alright, yep, she is, and Vajavan already locked in there for Vector. That's a champion that does do quite nicely with that Misfortune, but we now look at how the ADC pool is going, and honestly, I think Bulldog will just want to pick her up themselves, yeah, because every other ADC in that sort of top bracket has been taken off the table, and as such, we're going to have a relegation to those, maybe, you know, the champions a bit like the Xayah, Tristana, the sort of carries but less lane bully, or we might even see some sort of mage action coming through from Vector down in that bottom lane.
And they also get the aggressive support of the Leona, so nice pairing for Jacob and Gyrish in that bottom lane. And hovering the Nautilus, have seen it before into the MF and Leona lane, and it will be locked in.
Yeah, I mean, there's the classic. Every time it's Misfortune, Leona, Nautilus, Senna, you know, pick two. But I think what we could actually see Vector here do is that you've run out of ADCs really in top tier. So yes, you do have options. You could go for something like the Kai'Sa, you know, but you could also go for a mage. And if a mage is something that they're comfortable with, never mind. I was gonna say, if you're okay with a mage, don't pick your bot lane that and see if you can bait out a few ADC bans because you're willing to play the Syndra or something. But instead, they have just gone for the Xayah. So yep, just a standard bit of a kill lane going on both sides. But advantage definitely over to Bulldog. You know, Misfortune is more of a bully, and Leona has a really nice time versus Xayah specifically, because if you get the E onto her, the Zenith Blade, it doesn't matter if she roots you, you're already in range, you know, it doesn't matter if she ults because you can walk under her, and also you're blocking a lot of damage with that Eclipse, you know, it takes off a flat value from every single damage instance you take, so when Xayah's hitting you with all the little extra feathers from her W, you're taking almost no damage.
Especially when you're rushing Gargoyle Stoneplate, which is
Oh, yeah.
kind of the general build path for Leona now, for almost any support. And Nautilus probably be running that as well. It just keeps increasing your resistances so that you're just so tanky on this Leona that you just almost never die, and you can almost 1v1 AD carry at some point.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. Well, we do see that the final lock-in for Bulldog was that Elise, so just a really meta comp coming out here from Bulldog. They've got themselves strong early bot lane and a strong early ganking jungler. What are we going to do with this? Wow, dragons exist. So, wins, pretty simple stuff here, bud. He's going to do the old sort of, red, blue, gromp, red, whichever way around you want to do it, 2 buffs and a gromp at some point, and then you go into a level 3 gank. It's not that hard. You can look for something a little bit spicier if you want, but especially on the Elise, that's probably going to be your best bet. So really keep your eyes peeled at that sort of a 245 type mark, somewhere around there. So that's going to be a scary time to be in one of the side lanes as Vector. But of course, extra cheeky on that Jarvan, another early game jungler, so he has the opportunity to try and match those ganks. Maybe we see a little bit of 2v2, 3v3 action as well.
Well, the Corki gets locked in for wins. Interesting to see the Corki, not something that we see a heck of a lot of in recent times, but something that I'm always a fan of. Once you get 2-3 items on a Corki, he just starts tearing through anyone. Also deals mixed damage, which is also great to have on your team. So a nice round out for that middle lane, but they will respond with the Rise.
Alright, honestly I'm sweating because at any point we could be told, like, oh, it's not actually Elise, so...
It might even be a Corki.
Oh, okay, thanks, B. We've been confirmed that these are legit picks thus far, and with a Gangplank being a popular champion in the meta, he's gone ahead and locked in. Interesting that they banned the Mordekaiser when they're okay playing the Gangplank, because I feel like that's a matchup you're okay with. But you just eat the oranges, cleanse the ult, run for your life, you're good, you can kite him out with the barrels, but that's how Vector chose to want to play it. Maybe they didn't exactly want the Gangplank, but they're like, okay, fine, this is the best option now. And we have to see what will be available for Bulldog. Lucian on the table, Renekton as well, 2 champions, and yep, there's the Renekton that do quite nicely into that Gangplank. Of course, Gangplank gonna have a good time just cleansing away the Renekton, whatchamacallums, the Renekton stuns. But when you're Renekton, you've got a pretty fast auto, so you can blow those barrels pretty quickly. A little bit of skill coming into that matchup in the top lane, so that'll be fun to keep an eye on. So, early stage of the game, both junglers looking to get some level 2, level 3 ganks out, likely on the top lane, so you can get those balls rolling, and then move on down to the bot lane when the dragon spawns.
So is it just as simple as level 2, level 3 gank towards the top side, try and get Renekton or the GP ahead, or do you want to maybe go towards the mid lane as well? Get Rise ahead, level 2, stun?
Obviously, we saw last game kind of what happens when you have a Rise. Like, yeah, we just want to get him going so that he can get his tier and then cool, right? That's exactly how Tyrion played it. He got those 2 early ganks and he was like, all right, fine. Now, if she overextends without her flash, like she's doing quite a lot, I'll come. But other than that, you don't really have to overforce anything. But when you've got the sort of solo lanes like this, that you've got the scaling Gangplank and the bully Renekton, although Gangplank quite a bully in his own right in certain situations, that's what you want to do, is you send the jungler up, probably at level 3, level 2 gank kind of risky, even if you are on Jarvan and you don't want to fall behind too far. So maybe we just see a straight 2v2, but yep, you want to go at least one jungler up in that top lane getting a gank going. Then, if Kara or Extra Cheeky are ahead, you can say, cool, you do your own thing, win 1v1 or drop some pressure. I'm going to go on down and pick up that dragon, because we see we've got Xayah and we've got Nautilus, we've got Misfortune, we've got Leona. This is a lot of pressure in that bot lane, a lot of ways to get those kills, a lot of wave clear coming through from both ADCs as well, but a little bit sided over to Fuyu on the Xayah. So is that going to work in Dunlost's favor? Is he going to be able to push things out properly and really start to get some invades, going to get some control around the river? We're going to have to see, but that's thinking maybe a bit too far ahead, because right now we're going to focus on just that top lane, just those level 3s. Keep your eyes peeled when we head into the game.
And it just spells so much aggression from both these sides as well. The early ganking junglers, especially the Elise, that loves to just snowball. Just if you look at your Elise and she's 0-0-0 at 10 minutes, you know she's done something horribly wrong. And then you have your supports who both want to play super aggressive, especially the Leona. So I'm expecting a lot of action in this game.
Yeah, I'll say that you don't have to get something done. Like, getting something done doesn't necessarily mean kills and assists, It's successful to be 0-0-0 when you're blowing summoners, when you're still getting objectives, when you're just guarding lanes and stopping ganks happening just by shadowing them. But this is the UKEL, that's not happening. So Rosalina, you're diving. It's
careful, thought out, methodical plays.
Not on my watch. So the thing is that with Rosalina on this Elise, you have Renekton and Leona. These are two people with point and click stuns. Expect dives. Are we going to see a level 3 dive top? Maybe not. But for you, very smart to go ahead and take this cleanse. Depra hasn't. I know he's a Nautilus, but it still takes time to get tanky. So there is an opportunity that actually we see Rosalina, instead of looking for those top side ganks, you start top, you go top buff, bot buff, Gromp somewhere, depending on which side of the map you're on. They're on red side, so yeah, you'll do the sort of red-blue Gromp. And then you go and make your way downtown. Grish, just flash stun. That's all you need. And it's a free kill. And every 5 minutes, whenever flash is available for the Renekton or for the Leona, flash stun, free kill. And so you have to be really aware of that if you're Vector, and really make sure that you're getting what you can. You're playing really safe when those flashes are up, and getting what you can when those flashes are down. And
we're back to game of stopwatches, as 4 stopwatches on the side of Vector. So that will play a little bit of a gatekeeper when they are up around the 10-minute mark.
I'm not sure what the situation is with the game right now. I'm a level with you. This happens with League of Legends sometimes. What happens is you load onto the Rift,
and
then
production, so
it's honestly it's Riot production. You load onto the Rift, and it's like, yep, here's the Rift, and you're like, okay, cool, play, show me the game. It's like, nope, and you just sort of have to wait a little bit. Like the loading screen comes in, it finishes early, and you're like, okay. So
it's just a communication problem with Fuyu at this moment.
Yeah, we'll be
just waiting for him to get back onto the Rift. But just from these 2 team comps, who are you expecting to win, if all things were equal?
Honestly, comps have gone off the screen. They've gone off my mind. No, looking at Bulldog, they have the more meta comp. Like, that's just fine. They have the Corki, which is a bit rough because it doesn't really synergize too well with the Elise. But, Elise brings enough CC to any gank that you can make it work. But just the ease of execution. Well, ease of execution of having the Renekton Leona. Of course, the issue is that you still have to recognize that you want to be playing around that flash. Like the millisecond flashes up, Elise is in your lane, flash stun, get a free kill, get a tower. So that's not too hard to execute, but you do still have to put a little bit of thought into that one. But of course, we have this turbo scaling on the side of oh my god, my mind is gone. Oh, it's Bulldog Vector. That's the one.
Vector, yes.
Vector, yeah. Vector with the scaling on their side, so they're going to be good to go as well. So once we load up onto the Rift, we're going to have a pretty good time showing how these teams go. It's a lot like last game, a lot of pressure for the early game coming through for Bulldog. Vector happy to sit back and scale, but this time they have an early game jungler on both sides of the map.
It's a lot down to RNG as well, because of the dragon spawns. So
dragons are dragons, you get the one you like.
It's kind of the soul that you're looking for, though.
I mean, it is, but also it's like, I wish we got Infernal Soul. Not going to complain about having a 300 health shield, an extra 16 armor and magic resist, and all the other things you get. The thing is, obviously there are better souls than other, but also there absolutely isn't at all, because you can compare the souls and say yes, this one is or the shards. For example, I think that Cloud Soul is the weakest, and Cloud Shard is the strongest shard there is. And then you look at Ocean Soul, it's okay, well, Ocean Shard isn't very good, but it's a very strong soul. And you look at those and it's okay, cool, but at the end of the day, that's not happening. You're never actually given the choice of, do I want Cloud Soul or Infernal Soul? You just get the one you're given. So they're not really comparable in that regard, because you're just playing for the Drakes. It's I don't care what they are, I just know that's an advantage I have over my opponent who has no Drakes, not over some imaginary person that has choice of Drakes, Yeah,
that's very true, but we are onto the Rift. We will see what the Drake will be. It will actually be a first spawn of an Infernal Drake, so something that we see a lot of teams decide to fight over. Just gonna get the usual line of scrimmage it looks like from both these teams so far. No level 1 shenanigans just yet.
Yep, just standard 5 guys. Fan it out. We're going to see any vision coming on through up around this 40-second mark. Junglers could be looking to get a little bit of extra warding down here in the river, and then recall and get a sweeper. We'll have to see, but Rosaline and Dunlossie just chilling. Is anyone going to drop a ward? Oh! Hey, ward dropped at the last second. So that's a sweeper picked up. Therefore, Dunlossie is going to be able to get a little bit of extra control out on the map. Pretty standard strat, though. Nothing too mind-blowing going on there.
No, pretty standard from everyone so far, I think, across the board. No unusual keystones. Grasping and Undying for extra cheeky for a little bit extra sustain in that top side. Start off on the bot side buff respectively. Will be helped out by the AD carry and supports.
Okay, so yep, both junglers starting on that bot side of the map. We're gonna do the buff, throw a Gromp somewhere in the mix, maybe wolves, and then make your way on up to the top lane. And the advantage is there, of course, for Rosaline and Kara for the aforementioned many times old flash stun from Renekton. So again, just eyes peeled on how that top lane is going to go out. And you know what, haha, psych, because Dunlossie is now coming in looking for an invade.
Look at the half health Elise as well.
She doesn't see him.
That's the smite.
Big steal.
Oh, I think it did get stolen away. Rosalina down to half health already just from the auto attacks. We'll sink the fangs in, but look at the damage coming back down. We'll have to flash away. Flash forward, first blood to Dunlossie. But here comes the rotation from I Am Jacob. Gets the knock up with the flag and drag. Can he sustain a little bit longer? Flash forward. I Am Jacob picks up the first kill. Now he has to flash away. Trade 1 for 1. Both junglers go down.
Well, my prediction lasted all of 2 minutes in this game, and I don't think anyone expects that, so you can't really blame Rosalina for being chilling low. No one's going to see that one coming, but it's as good... Okay, it starts off as a good read on the situation from Dunlossie, because it's like, yep, you kind of take a bit of time to clear, maybe take a bit of damage if you want to be greedy with your spiderlings, you know, because again, who's going to see that coming? And then he just EQs back in. So we're going to go ahead and catch the replay, and yeah, he does steal it out with the EQ there, as we see, so that's really huge for Dunlossie. He's getting the fight going. Yeah, you're winning this because you have red buff and she has blue, even though she has that sort of spell advantage of being Leona. Flash forward, guarantee the kill, you're good. Here, your bot lane is coming, your mid lane is coming, and he flag drags back in, the aforementioned flash stun coming through from Leona. Yes, you're blowing a lot of the bot lane sums, but congratulations, now Misfortune has double buffs.
Which will make it a little bit harder for your poor AD carry and support, Fuyu and Dupree. A little bit extra damage on those autos.
It's a rough time, but Rosalina is now chilling at that level 3 mark, and you know what that means, it's top lane time, baby. The ward has been dropped down, but not by extra cheeky, but actually, never mind. With junglers spotted in the mid lane, teleports coming through as well. Rosalina is just trying to maybe get a light shadow going on. Not really sure what the play is here. No, literally just running in circles. All right, okay. We did it, boys. I mean, this whole time, like, okay, well. So that's prime time to go top lane. If you're the Elise, you walk up top, you're like, yep, cool, flash done. We've been over this 1,000 times. Even though, yeah, you have the cleanse on the gangplank, but look at his mana, come on. But instead, you run in circles quite a few times. And whilst this is going on, Dunlossie, he's getting farm bot lane. No, sorry, he's getting the top crap. That's fine. He gets the farm mid while Splaff is resetting for his tier. Big XP lead. And then he gets a bot crab. And now he's invading. And he has that bot lane prio. And so he's going to be able to go on up and grab out that Gromp. And this whole time, Rosaline has not exactly achieved a lot. And it's important to note the only reason that you can go for that invade is because Depra can leave Fuyu, because there's no flash on Girish. If the flash is up, that's a terrifying situation to be in as for you, even if you have the cleanse. But because it was blown earlier, you can get that invade going. And I'm not saying the way the flash was... I'm not trying to say that big moves from Dunlossie re-engaging onto the ADC because he blew Leona's flash. I'm not saying that, but...
It's the big brain play. It's all planned. What are you talking about?
That's what he'll say, sure. But it does work out in that regard. But here it is, Elise top lane. Ooh, it finally happened.
Yep. Gonna make our way towards that alcove. Actually, into the bushes, I think. Just avoiding the alcove completely. Just waiting for extra cheeky to push this up, but I don't think he really wants to.
I mean,
he has full mana, full health. You have to get the double stun here.
Yeah, so you have to time this right, because there's no, like, second half of the oranges. Not like Cleanse, where you have CC reduction afterwards. So, Carrot, you need to get him out of the wave, and then throw the cocoon whilst he's sort of rooting himself eating the oranges. And that time, you can maybe get a kill. But no, this guy, you know something's fishy. Extra... Oh no, the gank happened. That's why. The gank happened, Extra Cheeky forced to use his flash. And peace on out of that one. And now the wave in a very nice situation for Kira here, actually. We'll be pushing forward towards him, and he's okay with that, but not like the TP advantage he has is going to be too useful, because as we can see down the corner there, the dragon soloed away after the Elise showed top.
Get the damage down onto Extra Cheeky, though, forced to use the orange, chunk down to about a third of his life.
That's...
But Rosalina's at level 3.
Yeah.
Dunlosi level 5.
So the gank's a good idea. The issue is, you need to do it before Drake, right? That's why you do it level 3. He is still level 3, so it kind of works. But not so much.
Just go for these invades, though. He has the pressure mid, pressure bot.
Oh,
Nice to get the level 4, but Hero 1 versus 2 wins off to the side as well. Repel up, just try and get away, but then Losi will pick up the kill. Extra Cheeky in the top side. Flash. Just trying to close the gap. We'll have his E, just waiting for the cooldown. Just go. Slice and dice instead, but wins. Why is he even there?
Jungle difference. Yeah, the second that Rosalina like is in any situation here, you leave, right? Rosalina's dead, you're gone. Cool. I don't know, it's a bit of an odd one for Winston, and he lost his flash as well, so not too great. And we see it from Rosalina, he's gone for the Codex. Okay, what will this be? This one's going to be the gank onto Rosalina here, or the invadement. And yeah, Rosalina's gone for Codex, so no Talisman, so you're getting really low clearing your jungle. You're clearing a lot slower, and you don't have that extra mana. And okay, so Wins was trying to come down to Grish, and Wins never should have been there at all. You know, the second that they go in on Rosalina, you're like, okay, cool, you're dead, and leave. But Rosalina is building for combat stats, and is not actually able to fight anyone, and is not able to fight for jungle here. As not going to get executed, but
no,
very
it's because
close.
of the tick of the potion. That's the only reason why he didn't get it. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, guys, just finish it off. I can't help it, but
please just help me.
Yeah, you might as well finish them off. There's no point going back for them if you're Rosalina. You want to be doing other things instead of clearing them so they can spawn later. But now both bot lanes swapping up to the top side, and Dunlossy. Look at the instant replay there.
Oh, you did him like that.
Jesus Louises. But yep, Dunlossy's just gone ahead and started up that Herald, I believe. I think that one's being soloed there by the Jarvan, and yeah, because what's Rosalina going to do? Stop you?
Level 4 to level 6. Smite difference is 200 or so.
Yeah, something I do like is the purchase from Kara here is the Executioner's Calling first buy. Because when you're playing the Renekton versus Gangplank, every trade is exactly the same. You E in, stun Q, E out, and then he cleanses the stun and runs. Or maybe hits you with a barrel, right? So you always know that every single time you're hitting him, he's healing. And so it's actually a really nice idea to go ahead and get that Executioners, because you're removing so much from his Corrupting Pot and from his oranges as well. So smart call on that one. Now the Herald has been deployed in mid.
Yeah, Kara is there as well. Pops the Dominus. They're onto Dunlossy. That's the trade of the CC. Gonna repel up, but he'll manage to get away.
Ooh, Splash gun long range with that one, but who could have seen it coming? Renekton stuns someone, and then the Elise follows. They finally make it happen. Is it too little, too late? Who knows? Because that kill worth more than the plates that were given over. So, we'll engage on top.
Flash away, use the heal as well. Pull back, not quite enough to find the stun, but MF gonna deal so much damage with the ultimate. Gonna trade it back. Dupree in a lot of trouble as well. Hi, I'm Jacob. He's very low. Double kill.
Oh no. These are not the flashes that you want to see from Vector. Both of them flashing into their untimely demise. It's not great. Okay, let's get the replay. Oh, Jacob. Okay, so they get the engage on Jacob. Fine. Fuyu flashes forwards, but flashes too late, so the feathers go from the original pot, so they're not called back. You've just flashed into a Leona, and it's all going downhill from there. Then we see that Dupree, I think he thinks he can get the sort of flash auto reset with the W and E, and yeah, that's enough burst to kill, but there's healing coming through from the Legend Bloodline, and he never even gets the first auto off, let alone the second or the Riptide, so none of that one happening going on there, and yeah, just kills for the Misfortune. Double kill secured, now 3-0.
I think that was a little bit of ambitious play from Dupree anyway. Even with his ultimate or his Wrath of the Titan as well available, he'd have to have gotten a couple of autos, his E, and the ultimate down just to try and finish the kill onto Jacob.
Yeah,
he doesn't deal that much damage this early.
No, you'd be surprised. Like, I think I see the idea that was in his head, and it could have worked, but again, the healing from Jacob with the Bloodline, and also the fact that he died in a single auto, you know, if he had a little bit more health, sure, you know, auto, you get the passive damage. Reset with a W, you get the W damage. The Riptide is going to hit 2 times, maybe 3. Okay. But also you're on 50 health. Like, it's in that situation, it's not happening. So those kills were basically just sort of handed over to Jacob now. An extra one's going to be found here.
Out yet again. Go golden just by a little bit of time. Dalnosi off to the side. Can he do anything here? Gets the knockup. Back in comes the Cataclysm as well. Gets the repel up as the double teleport is being channeled. Ultimate from Leona gets gonna try and play Gatekeeper, but the MF doing so much damage here. And
Kara's just 1v2.
He's just on the back, just trying to deal as much damage as possible. Triple kill now for Jacob. 6-0. Kara looking for something more, but just back off and go on to the Ocean Drake.
Okay, straight on into the replay. Here we are. Lovely, jubbly. So he's engaged Debris, just okay. Walking up a little bit further than perhaps you should with absolutely no vision. He's supposed to go golden. Dunlosty's doing what he can. They managed to get the ult through, and it's a lovely knock-up from Dunlosty because he knocks up the Elise and then is able to jump on through to Jacob. But then Nautilus is already dead. He's just buying a lot of time. Keep your eyes on Kara here at this point, who is now just straight 1v2ing. He holds onto the stun because he knows this, like, he pops the stun and then just doesn't auto. He just waits out stopwatch because there's no point in throwing onto the gangplank. And he's able to just completely isolate them out, which keeps Jacob alive. Jacob is now being peeled by Garish, and you're getting a free, full channel bullet time, which is killing off Dunlosty and really keeping Splaff at maximum distance, who is still, like, Splaff was inside the ult the whole time. He had a choice. He could have not been, but so chose to tank up that one a little bit. And now we have a 6-0 misfortune, so you love to see it. And whilst that's going on, the dragon was taken away there by Bulldogs, evening out the score.
It is a 6-0 misfortune, but you're also up only by 500 gold. So it's not that much in the hole as Rise just gets completely CC'd and taken down.
Yeah, Leona does that sometimes. It's Leona Elise. Like, sometimes they CC you, and you kind of need to show a little bit of respect to that. Now, Bulldog not looking to go too hard on that tower there, though. Still playing it safe because, you know, if you're under the tower, if you're tanking that, you're going to take a lot of damage from Dunlosty and Debris. And Dunlosty, even though he's building full tank, he does actually do a decent amount of damage. You know, it's nothing to scoff at. He might not be running you down in a solo lane, but with the Nautilus as well under his tower, it's a little bit spooky. So everyone's being a little bit calmer, and whilst that is kind of on the favor of Vector because they do outscale, the second we're hitting these one-item spikes, you know, with Bulldog getting the Triforce in the mid lane, the Cleaver and top lane, it's going to be real scary for Vector.
Flash forward, gets the stun as well. Dunlosty has a flag and drag, will choose to go back in, gets the smite just for a little bit of
Hey, you got the crab, alright.
He does manage to get the crab, but the cocoon is good, and Kara picks up that kill.
So, he wanted the crab. And sometimes you've got to get the crab. So he wanted this, like, it's like, smite and kill the crab for the health packet. Cool, but you've got executioners on you. Also, your support is approximately 1 EQ behind you. So, you know, maybe there's possibly a better direction that one could have been thrown. Like, again, I see the idea from Vector, but just EQ away, man. Like,
I think he probably thought, you know what?
You probably die either way,
anyway, so might as well pick up the scuttle crab.
But it's like you definitely die with the crab. Maybe he thought like, oh, I can get into the lane, and then he got caught off by Rosalina. So it's like, okay, you 95%, or like 90% of the time with the crab you die. 95% of the time you go to the Nautilus, you live. So maybe, like, I don't know. Again, I see the idea.
Still trying maybe to deny jungle XP from Rosalina. Keep that 2-level gap.
Yeah, that's what's important. See, this is how you get a 40 CS lead. That's how you do it. As you do see the vision, that is a very blue-looking map. Honestly, I'm a level with you. I've got a lot of blue light filters on my screen. Like, my screen's got one built in and I've got a program. That's just a huge rainbow for me. Like, that's... I can't see that at all, but I assume in Twitch chat that everyone else's perspective, it looks alright.
It looks alright, yeah.
Okay, cool. For me, it's like, I can't see it at all, but that's my choice.
A little bit of green.
Alright, so I'll let you do the calls on that one. I see nothing, but...
They're just gonna 4-man this Rift Herald anyway, try and get a little bit of gold in their back pocket. It is 15.5 minutes in.
No plates, but the mid lane tower is pretty low, so you can just drop that one and hand it over. That will be a pretty free tower picked up, and actually some vision being cleared out as well, so... You know, zombie wards coming down, everyone getting a little bit of extra gold in their pocket, and now Dunlosty coming down to gank a Corki, but he's just going to do that. So
Yeah, just go Valkyrie
probably
away.
not the most productive use of your time whilst the Herald is being deployed mid. And once this Herald comes down, we'll see the gold given over. 450 gold into Rosalina's pocket. Lovely jubbly. And now we get the second charge, reset, and then you look for that dragon. Depri not able to execute the Herald there, so it does complete that second charge. And now, actually, we don't care about the Drake, it's the dive on top.
Yeah, when you have a Elise that can repel and trade tower aggro, you may as well go for it. As Dumbass is popped, gets the stun down, looking for the chain CC. Yep, it is good. Just gonna give it over to Kara, and they're gonna pick up this tier 1 as well.
They actually can still get the Drake. It takes about 30 seconds to reset for the dragon, but it's not spawning in 20, so they're giving up the first half, but they're actually just running down, so no reset happening at all. Vector taking away that mid lane tower, and Bulldog are like, okay, we'll just run down to the Drake instead, and maybe we can catch them off a little bit. We also see pretty smart moves here from Kara. He's moving in a different angle. He's going to be able to catch out that wave, and by proxying that, it's going to be putting just a little bit of extra pressure onto that mid lane. Never mind. All right. So say, oh, he's going to go through and clear it, and then that's going to build up a wave onto the mid lane and just get a little bit of extra damage out onto that already low tower. Maybe he threw 1Q on it on his way through, but I'm not quite sure.
The complete reset comes through from Vector. Just gonna give up this Mountain Drake. Even with the Superior Smite. Not confident enough, perhaps, to take the team fight just yet.
No, you're okay. You just chill. It's not too dangerous because, of course, both teams have taken a dragon, and every dragon you take is a dragon they don't take, so it's like a two-dragon discrepancy there. So I think that if Vector hadn't gotten that first dragon, the next one would be, you know, game-ending for them. So because they've taken one, they're like, okay, we can just give up, you know, another one here or there. We can give up the next one as well, because the soul won't come until 2 more drakes, at least 10 minutes on that soul spawn. So Vector, okay, again, to just sit back, chill, play the scaling game. And we can see Splaff very keen on scaling because he is going for that double stack. However, finish the Archangels first, so he's getting a very late rower, really counting on his team to be able to draw this game out long enough for that item to be completed and to finish stacking.
And Traded Force also completed by Win, so he has his 1 item power spike on this Corki.
Oh wow, he's got it already. Okay, well,
Yeah.
18-minute rower, it's not perfect.
Feeling good.
It's not
You have to wait
terrible.
till 28 minutes for that to fully stack.
Yeah, so obviously you want that a little bit earlier. You don't really want the game to go on until the 38-minute mark, but what is this? This is going to work as well.
You cannot do that. Just.
But like,
manage
why
to
would
get
you be
away from
suspicious
the
of that
cocoon.
bush? Someone saw that coming. Who was that? Was that Fu? Yeah, Fu, you saw something coming and threw out that blue plant. Absolutely saving Dupree's life there, but holy guacamole.
It's just because Rosalina missed the cocoon. That's the only reason why Dupree actually got
He
away.
was able to outrun it because he had the Mobies, right? So like, there was definitely a chance for. I think I'd call that much.
I think that
I'd call that a
connected.
Dupree dodge.
I think it was a little bit
a bit
to the left.
A little bit wide. Thought that Nautilus was fatter than usual. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
no, in any case, game's slowing down just a little bit, but is very much in Bulldog control. Even though it's only a 2,000 gold lead, but I mean they know what they want to do. They're moving on down and looking to just pick up towers as a unit. The ult comes through, but there's a gangplank under there, so he's gonna cleanse that one out. Solar Flare not being available is a pretty big deal. You do like to have that one in the team fights, but again, you've got the rest of Leona's kit, and you've got an Elise as well, so a big CC ability gone, but not all of them, and that's what matters. And now the tower is the focus.
Yeah, we'll just zone him away from this tower. They know the amount of CC that can come out from Bulldogs is pretty incredible. So just gonna back away, take this tier 1 tower, rotate towards this middle lane now. 2 minutes, 18 seconds until the dragon spawns, but Baron has now spawned as well. A little bit early for the Baron.
Well, you never know. You always give it a go. Now, of course, you got the Misfortune, who's not great at taking the Baron, but you can cover for that with the Corki, who can take a Baron pretty decently. And I don't know what's going on with this Corki pick, to be like perfectly honest with you. I just know that Wins likes the champion. Obviously, as the name may imply, he is a Yasuo stan, but he likes his Yasuo, and then he just likes, was it Twisted Fate and Corki, I think. It's just like, yeah, just give me Corki, I'll get like a slight lead, and like, it's like, yeah, whatever, I'll just be a champion. It's kind of just in this game, you know, it's not...
You'll just be a champion around, 3 items.
Yeah, well, Corki has a really weird power curve because he spikes really linearly. Like he spikes really hard on 1, on 2, and like on 3 items as well. So he's kind of unique in the way that his spikes work. But I think it's the kind of thing that Wins is like, yep, I'm cool to just pick a guy that's like kind of always doing something. You guys, you play for like that.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. But yeah, he's just happy to chill whilst you work with the Leona and the Renekton. Compare those with your Elise. So, stopwatch, not available for Rosalina. Good
Must
to
have
know.
been a fat finger for control ward?
No, I guess so. Or maybe for the sweeper.
Makes more sense for sweeper.
Really could go either way at this point. But yep, standard 1-3-1, both teleports available for both the junglers. We get the vision control up and around the Baron, but this is taking so long to set up that really it's just free golden XP is kind of being funneled into these scaling carries of Vector, and yeah, nothing's actually coming of it from Bulldog. They spent all this time setting up on the top half of the map. Oh my god, Joe, no, don't do him like that. Yeah, there it is, alright.
Yeah, that would have been a sweeper play if I've ever seen one.
But yeah, they spent so much time setting up for the top half of the map, but now the dragon is up, and suddenly this this vision ain't great, but they have managed to do a nice job of just getting the 2 important wards there down on the red. So those are going to show off the important chokes that you need when it comes to taking out this dragon. So Bulldog pretty happy with the control they've got over this area. Wynn's also sitting there with the package just to dissuade anyone whilst they take away this mountain.
Is this a Baron call?
No, I think it's just they're just looking to clear out vision. They're like, okay, we're not getting the Baron. We're not getting the dragon. So we'll just like do what we can and try and set up for the Baron. Just in case.
Please don't get caught out. I'm just waiting for a Zenith Blade to come flying from left field. Just connect onto Dupree. Should make sure that there's no vision in favor of Vector around this objective. So they had a little bit of extra time around this top side.
Yeah, we see now the vision basically cleared out by both sides there. Of course, Bulldog very much out of wards. They spent a lot of time on the map, so out of pinks and out of control wards. We see a lot of defensive line there from Vector, which just at this point really would kind of tell you, oh, they've come and cleared our defensive line, but that's alright. Like, obviously this comp is a lot scarier than last game because this comp is the one that's going to kill you if they ever see you, you are dead to their CC. So it's okay to sort of know, like, okay, they're just moving into our jungle, and like you lose the vision, but now you know there's a chance they're there, and you can be terrified accordingly. And so that's what these wards are achieving here. But right now, Bulldog just got to get this push out in the mid lane first, get that wave going before they can now look to start setting up or clearing out any wards.
I'm just gonna sweep this all away, and Ryze knows that something could happen towards the top side, so just go back away. Give a little bit of respect to Bulldog, knowing that they can, of course, collapse on him.
Put some respect on the name. But really, it's just, but like, this Bulldog are kind of too scared to actually start the Baron themselves, right?
Yeah, it's
kind
of a game of inches at this point. No one wants to be the one that pulls the trigger, and
But it
kind of to be wrong.
be. So here's the thing, that Bulldog are only actually 1.5k ahead, which isn't a lot. And all they're doing is just clearing waves and going back to Baron. It's like, okay, well, Vector aren't going to do Baron, and Vector know that you're not going to do Baron because you're Elise, Misfortune, and Leona. Like, you're not rushing that. Yes, you have the Corki on the top half of the map, but he's very visible. So there's no actual threat of the Baron, and Vector are very aware of this. And so all that's happening is Bulldog are clearing out waves, and then those waves are being caught by the scaling ADC and the scaling Ryze. And so Vector are really kind of okay with how the game is going right now. They are happy to just sort of sit back and like, yep, we'll just clear these waves because we're scaling.
But which team scales harder? Because you have an MF, you have a Corki, and then you have... Well, okay, I'm guessing that it would be Vector because you have Xayah, you have Ryze, you have GP. It's just kind of like 3 hard scalers to 2 hard scalers. But you have a 6-0 MF, so she's doing pretty well at this point.
Yeah, he's still in a pretty happy spot. Of course, she's got the Infinity Edge. Oh my word.
Yeah, Flash engaged. Good dredge line. Out comes the ultimate as well, but they're just wholly onto the MF here, trying to deal as much damage as possible. Goes golden just to buy a little bit of time, but Splash picks up the kill onto the Leona. Jacob just surviving so much, so long, still alive. At least picks up a double kill there, but GP trying his damnedest. Gets the flash out of Rosalina. He has to get out of dodge there. That's 2 for 2. Now Fuyu also in a lot of trouble. He'll go down even through the cleanse. Shutdown goes over to Wins.
Fuyu really not able to afford to throw back those autos when you're versus the dashing Renekton and the Storm Razor on the Corki as well, but Jacob able to live so long through that. Of course, minimal damage coming through from that Jarvan. Jarvan with the Stone Plate not doing a lot, just constantly life-stealing up through this, forcing Extra Cheeky to flash on in. Now Extra Cheeky, Rosalina!
Just executed by the Baron. Wins now almost being run down by the Gangplank. Goes Golden. Wins just gonna back away. Kira also gonna back away.
Yeah, two.
Rise is nearby.
Scared of the Gangplank there, but whilst all this is going on, the Dragon is spawning in just 50 seconds. Let's see, can either team do this fast enough? Because now the resets need to come through from Bulldog, but Wins and Kira both have teleports, so watch those dropped in the mid lane. Jacob ultimate almost up, Garish as well, and now the force back is from Vector. They have to recall, they have to back away from this Drake, and we'll get a replay of this fight. So, yeah, flash engage from Dupree, because for one time, they have the numbers advantage, and they know it. But just look how long Jacob lives here. He's getting a lovely ult here, which is zoning out Splaff and Yuki, although they're kind of okay with it, because they're just focusing on to Grish. But the whole time, Jacob's life-stealing up. Watch this one. He's on a tiny amount of health, lives through that 1Q, lives through the one shot of the Rupture coming through there from Dupree, orders up through that, heals through that, gets everything. At this point, Extra Cheeky hears his teammate shouting about it. He's like, fine, flash Q, crit him and call it a day. And then here we just run down Fuyu as well. So that Legend Bloodline really coming in huge for Jacob. I'm sure there were some gratuitous crits thrown in as well for good measure, but Bulldog just able to inch out ahead of that one now. No Baron taken, and the Mountain Soul is the target.
And Soul is the target, playing Denial from Vector as well. Rosalina didn't manage to land a cocoon there, but if they can get a nice knock-up, a nice dredge line perhaps, Dupree looking for it, barrels coming out, bullet time as well. Dragon is going to go down, they get the soul, but can they get the fight? Dunlosi in a lot of trouble, will go down, the Renekton picks up that kill, but the MF will be taken down by Extra Cheeky. Kira just trying to tear through the lineup, but Extra Cheeky picks up a double kill, and now it's just the Leona alive with the Corki on the backside, but Corki, can he take a 1 versus 4? He just pieces out with the package.
Is not quite able to 1v4 that one there, so that fight going horribly wrong for Bulldog. Vector able to find out the kills, taking the 1 for 4, but the smite was secured by Rosalina. The Dragon Soul goes over to Bulldog, and let's get a replay. Let's see how this fight went so wrong for the team that was so far in the lead. So they've got no cocoon, that one's already been thrown out. Rosalina pretty chunked on out, and at this point, yeah, cocoon's probably back up, but yeah, it looks like people are just tanking up a Drake. They're fighting in a choke. Misfortune ults to get the sort of route going, and then you're in range. And yes, Jacob has had like a good time previously in these fights, tanking through a lot of bits. That's because they all come one after the other as people are desperately trying to kill him. So in this one fight where he leads with the ultimate, leads with the bullet time, yeah, everyone can just start throwing things on, and you can get the pile onto Jacob. And whilst this is going on, no one is respecting Extra Cheeky, who, this is a prime example, has been just farming side lanes for the last, like, 15 minutes whilst we did this Baron dance. So yeah, whilst he's farming those up, he's getting pretty strong with that Styrax, with that Triforce. And now the Baron on less than half health, and no defense possible for Vector. That one's going straight over to Bulldog.
Now they have the Mountain Soul, they have 3 mountains, an ocean, Baron, Baron, Baron. Baron's just gonna run it down top lane.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anything you can do from Vector, anything to try and play Gatekeeper, to try and hold off, come back into this game a bit more, try and buy some time so that Splaff can finish his death cap, in the very least.
No.
No, just
well, you have that
no.
one good fight, right? So they do know they can just go on Jacob like that, and it will work out pretty well. But now you're fighting into the Soul, and you're fighting into the Elder as well, because Mountain, really important in this game, where both teams are looking to jump on someone and just really lock them down, you know, with that Leona, Elise, or with the Jarvan Nautilus. And so by having the Soul, you're getting these extra resistances, and you're getting that shield as well. And it's only a small amount, but it really can make a difference. I mean, we saw in the fight where Jacob lifestealed up by the Baron. If he had one less Mountain Shard, he would have died 100%. But because he didn't, he's able to live through that. You know, maybe if Bulldog had the Soul a little bit earlier, if they hadn't given up the first Drake, Rosalina wouldn't have been executed by Baron, you know? Hard to say. So it really is important in these team fights. And I think that because of this Soul being picked up, all chances just out the window for Vector.
They're trying their best to defend against this Baron-powered push. The Siege minions doing a lot of work. GA picked up for extra cheeky, so he has a little bit of more survivability. He's gonna face tank these minions, make sure it can do little to no damage onto this tier 3 tower.
But Big Wave is moving in the bot lane, and Kira knows it, so he's just going to go down and grab that free tower. And so Vector do have to be a little bit careful. No teleport available for him, so yeah, everyone's sitting very far back. Just let the one cannon creep do its job. Go and hit that tower. They are taking these towers slowly, but they are still taking them as now Wins moves on into the mid lane. And again, Bulldog are playing it low and slow.
That's the way you want to play it. Just don't make any mistakes here. Just push it out, play it low and slow. Just play it a bit patient. Don't need to rush. Nice.
Nice and calm, no sudden movements, you know. Okay, well, Kira's... I don't know what he's doing, but he's in their base, and actually ends up losing the Baron buff off the minions, so they will take a lot of damage and are able to be cleared out by extra cheeky, but it's like he's just trying to threaten the chance of a roam up onto the mid lane here, and the tower is eventually going to go down. Now, Rapid Fire Cannon picked up by Jacob, that's going to help out. Surely when Wins gets one, it'll be a good time as well, but he won't be getting one as maybe fourth, maybe even fifth item, so it'll be pretty dangerous there.
I don't really expect the game to go that long.
Yeah.
1 minute 20 until Elder Drake spawns, and they might just wait for that so that they can get one last team fight and finish.
Yeah, that may well be the objective. Like you said, it's in 1 minute 20. It's not too long to wait. The Baron has now timed out, so the push was successfully repelled. And there's a lot of extra money going over to Vector. You can see that this game, even though it feels like Bulldog are kind of clapping it, they're only, like, again, still 1.5k ahead. They're not getting anything from their lead, and they're up against this scaling comp. You know, this is a 3-item Xayah with the Infinity Edge. This is a Ryze who's got a lot of tank stats, and then a Rabadon, so he's got everything he needs. Very tanky Gangplank, who may not be doing the most, you know, he's not getting the flashy, huge lethality crit, but he's got GA Sterax, so he's definitely going to be tearing through these 5v5 fights just by how long he'll be alive. So Bulldog do have to be a little bit worried, and we saw how the last fight around the dragon went. They got the Drake, but they lost the fight, and now there's a chance for Dunslossy to go ahead and steal out the Elder here. It's a genuine possibility. And there's no inhib dead, you know, there's nothing drawing Vector away from this fight, so after all this, the game could come down to a pure 50-50.
Definitely could, and both junglers are level 13, so they have the same level of smite. Unlike earlier on when there was a 2-level difference, that it's kind of flipped a little bit, and they're looking for a flank here. Someone has to go for an engage. Taking a lot of aggro from this dragon. They're onto Dunlosa, he's just cut down so quickly, the repel comes up, so comes the bullet time. Extra cheeky, goes into the GA, Rosalina goes golden just by a little bit of time, Wins has to flash away. Kira on the backside trying to zone away the Ryze, will just shut him down instead. Extra cheeky looking for the damage, Fuyu will just be destroyed. Extra cheeky goes down as well, the ace for Bulldog. They're onto this Elder Drake as well, they just lose one.
Again, there it is, there's the fight. Bulldog find that pick out onto Dunslossy, and after that it's just smooth sailing. Run through the fight. You've got the package from Wins dropping out some huge deeps as well, but they're not able to finish the game. They don't have the waves, you know, no inhibs taken, no inhib turrets taken, so they're like, okay, cool, we'll just get the Elder this time, reset, and then we can hard dive and end the game on the next fight. We'll just wait for Rosalina. Is they actually gonna, maybe they just won't reset, maybe they're that confident that they can just go, yeah, we're just gonna walk up and start slapping away at these towers, because if you're Dunslossy, what are you going to do? Like, he's looking to maybe get a hook, but
that's just the look in every Nautilus's eyes. He's just always looking to get a hook.
That's true, that's true. So, one tower taken down, that inhib now exposed. Very scary for anyone to beat there, and now it looks like, yeah, the reset is coming through. So Bulldog, they thought maybe we can rush an inhib. They weren't able to do it, and now they are actually losing a lot of the time on their Baron. It's important to note they are getting this reset, and Kira and Rosalina aren't resetting, so are they looking for the Baron? I'm not sure, but you kind of have to all be on the same page here. Like, you can't reset, 20 seconds after your bot lane has reset, because now you're just losing even more time off of your dragon. You need to make sure you're resetting at the same time. Kira's going to, he's got teleport, so that's fine. Are they going to run down mid, or are they looking for Baron?
Just gonna clear away some of the vision as we go into the replay.
Alright, so yeah, let's see what sort of happened. Wait, is this the...
It's the
I thought this was the one before. It started off really similar. So, yep, Darnossi walks forward, as you do, and then that's it. He's just immediately taken out by that one step forward. And then we see Fuyu forced out a little bit. A huge ult from Miss Fortune. She's able to safely get over the wall and drop her ult. It doesn't matter if it gets cancelled by Dupree, because it's all going onto the Gangplank, who is very much the priority target in these fights. He's the one that's putting out the most damage. And then Fuyu has to drop all the defensive summoners early, and then goes back in. And yeah, you see, so he drops the ult and has to go out, and then walks back in, and then has to flash out because he's got no ult, and then walks back in, and then dies because he's got no flash on no ult. So that kind of happens sometimes, but Fuyu sort of expertly zoned out of that fight there by Bulldog, who are able to make pretty short work of the Vector lineup.
Now they're just gonna try and siege in what's left of the Elder Dragon buff. 20 seconds left on that, so we'll be handily able to take any fight that might erupt. One might say that they're able to take it anyway, but it will help them out with the execution damage.
Well, there's actually not too much time left on it.
Losi was looking for something there. Are they going to go for a last-ditch effort of a fight? Goes golden, jumps in with the Cataclysm as Blast picks off the jungler from the side of Bulldogs. Goes golden now, just by a little bit of time. Goes into the GA. Will come back up, and we'll be able to take this inhib and back away. 1 for 1, only the jungler's going down, but looks like they're not going to back away. Didn't go onto the Splaff instead. Just get the shield from his Seraph's Embrace, and Wynn's taking a lot of damage. Going to try and get the kill onto Splaff, but Jacob picks up that kill. Dupree just going to be destroyed now as Wynn's picks up the kill. They're onto the Nexus towers, soon onto the Nexus, and Bulldog will take down Vector Gaming.
Alright, so even engaging like 5 seconds after the Elder ran out. You hate to see it, but they're still able to go on through and pick up the win. The first dub of the season there for Bulldog. It was started out pretty good, and then it was kind of like, okay, what's going on for like 20 minutes? And then they ended up pretty strong as well. So nice close game there. Good performance from both sides. Bulldog, as we said, able to secure the win.
That's a double red side win as well. So the first game went over to red side. Second game red side as well. So try and go red side maybe. Maybe it'll help you out a bit.
I would try and there's something to be said about sort of the ways the picks work. Obviously on red side they got the Misfortune Leona first pick, so that's a very strong lane. And it's good to know that even after all the shenanigans in that game, let's talk about Rosalina. You get level 2 invaded by the Jarvan. You get the Zhonya's used, the stopwatches. The invade with the Rise coming in as well. Seems so long ago, with the execution on the chickens as well. But he's able to still keep it together a little bit, and they managed to get the wins. And they know still what they have to do. It's like, okay, no matter how far behind I am, it's never a bad idea to chain CC someone, and that's all you have to do with that comp.
And it's only week 1 as well.
Yeah.
Week 1 of 9, and that means that you can come back next week, and you can get your first win of the UKEL Spring Split. It's not all is lost in this early stage. You can regroup, learn from your mistakes, maybe better your drafts a little bit.
Yeah.
Vary up the priority, because it was interesting that they decided to go for the J4 priority from Vector.
Yeah, and now that there are no proxy shenanigans, we can see the picks. So, yeah, I mean, Jarvan first pick, like, that's just better. There's other things in the game. You're first picking Jarvan, cool. Leona Misfortune, and in a game where all the ADCs had been banned out at that point, so Misfortune was so important, I could see a Misfortune first pick having been a decent idea for Vector, but they weren't feeling it. And we look at the damage chart, and yeah, you see, off the back of all that extra time to farm, you see the Vector's damage wasn't bad. You get the scaling up in the top lane and mid lane were actually doing a lot. Fuyu was getting hard zoned out of fights, though, that's a little bit Bulldog, that's a little bit Fuyu. But yeah, even with the length of this game and how much of a clap it seemed to be for Bulldog, you were able to get the Gangplank and the Rise back into the game because of that huge lull that there was in the middle of the game.
And it ended with the 10,000 gold lead when it was less than 1,000 gold for most of the game between the two teams. Even with a lot more kills on the side of Bulldog, especially in the pocket of Misfortune, it was still about 500, 600 gold in the difference. So there was always the opportunity for Vector to come back into the game, especially as we mentioned, the scaling that they had on their side. They have the GP, they have the Rise, they have the Xayah. There was always that option, but they just never got to utilize their comp in the way that they should have been able to try and actually get the win.
Yeah, they were given the opportunity during that game, but yeah, like you said, especially off the back of that catch up a dragon.
Yeah.
With Dunlossie going down like that, it was just not going to happen. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us here at the UKEL's first two games. Of course, we'll cut to a quick break before we come back with game number 3, where, Duxo, are you staying on?
I'm not staying on.
You're not staying on?
It will be
Okay.
Viperoon and the Sarge for the last two games of London versus Peak and Mythos versus NSG. So that'll be it from myself and Doctor. We'll check you guys next week or the week after.